A Fox News host just got obliterated on her own show by voters who finally had enough of Republican lies. This wasn't a debate, it was a demolition. And when the smoke cleared, Fox's talking points about the shutdown, healthcare, and the so-called Epstein distraction were in flames. Let's be clear, the government shutdown, now 34 days long and officially the longest in U.S. history, is the GOP's fault. Speaker Mike Johnson has kept Congress in recess to dodge one thing: a vote to restore healthcare subsidies and release the Epstein files. He's not governing, he's hiding. And when asked why he hasn't seated Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, Johnson gave one of the most insulting, gaslit answers we've heard all year.
Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva, there's now a lawsuit about this. They say there's no dispute about her election or her qualifications, and add this: Speaker Johnson wishes to delay seating Ms. Grijalva to prevent her from signing a discharge petition that would force a vote on the release of the Epstein files and/or to strengthen his hand in the ongoing budget and appropriations negotiations. Why hasn't she been sworn in? What's your response to the lawsuit?
All this is so ridiculous, and we could take 30 minutes and talk about all this, but Rep-elect Grijalva will be sworn in as soon as we get back to regular session. Remember, it's the Democrats who shut the Congress down, so we can't do that.
Can you not swear her in, though, when you're not operating in regular?
There is a precedent for doing a pro forma session swearing in, but we're not engaging in regular business right now. And what I'm doing is following the Pelosi precedent in the past when she was Speaker, and you had representatives elected during special elections, special situations. When Congress was on recess or out, she would wait until the regular session to do it. I'm doing the exact same thing. But the Epstein thing is a complete red herring. It's a distraction from what's going on right now and them causing harm to the American people with the shutdown. The Epstein estate documents are out. The Epstein files are out.
That's what Johnson calls leadership, lying to the American public on live television. He blames Democrats for a shutdown he alone could end tomorrow. He claims the Epstein files are already public. They're not. It's classic Republican projection. Accuse your opponents of what you're guilty of. And if you thought Fox News would push back, think again. Until this morning, when their own viewers finally turned on them.
I think it should really be referred to as the Republicant Party, because all they talk about is what they can't do. They can't reopen the government. They can't find a way to feed poor people.
Wait a minute. You do understand that they gave a House passed, and you know one of the hardest places on the planet to get something passed is in the House, because there are so many more members, and many of them have races at different times, and I mean, it can get complicated there. They passed a continuing resolution, much like the Democrats have done, and Republicans have voted to support those resolutions north of a dozen times with Chuck Schumer at the helm of Democrats, but that's not what the Democrats are willing to do this time around.
But Republicans really, they control all three branches of government. They own the shutdown. There's no question about it. And as far as immigration goes, I have a friend who is in the process of legally becoming a U.S. citizen. He has filed the right paperwork. He has gone to all the appointments. He's done everything he has to do. He is so terrified of being picked up and thrown in detention by ICE that he is basically just going back to Brazil. That is not where we should be. And this plays into the affordability crisis. This city and all cities and all parts of the American economy run on the kinds of typically cheaper labor that immigrants provide to us. The prices of everything go up when the labor prices go up. And we are removing a really important part of the pathway to becoming part of this country when we terrify communities of immigrants. We should be doing it.
What's so interesting about this gathering today, we have really, really diverse thought on this panel today. We're blessed with that. We've got some independents. We don't know which way you guys are going to go on which issue. But I want to make sure that we're sticking with the facts here. This is in Democrats' hands. And we don't have the ability to have the facts driven by our freedoms. I mean, by our feelings, forgive me, by our feelings. And so if Democrats step in and give this, they still have a little bit of time before that original document even runs out. I mean, you think people are hurting now, let it go till Christmas. Like, it's time for them to step up. And if you want to see them be those adults in the room, maybe they could choose now.
But if they step up, then we lose health care. And that's a death dealing policy.
You're not going to lose health care. Health care was going up on its own.
For millions of people, we will.
So first and foremost, I do not think that that is a genuine argument, simply because their argument is that they want to pass a clean budget reconciliation bill. The last time that happened was in 2012. That's not a real thing that happens. This is a body that's designed for compromise. As someone who worked on the Hill, we have to be communicating. You don't just get to say, I passed this bill and we're going to go into recess. and never come back.
Let me ask you this.
Because we want to fight this argument.
So Democrats now have done what you've said, okay? And they came to the table, they said, look, we want to talk about health care. And one of the sticking points in there are the millions of dollars that we know go to those illegal aliens. And look, Dan, you bring up that some of them are here and they're waiting for their paperwork. Well, how long have they been here?
That is
and
not
that's
true.
what the government, but let me ask you. So if that's part of the mix and you know you've got Republicans to agree to get to that issue right away, why not open the government now and get the foot off the necks of people who are hungry? 42 million of them. Can you defend starving people out? And by the way, it'll take at least until Wednesday for the president to fund after they go through protocols. 72 more hours? Go ahead, defend that.
Okay, so first of all, the Affordable Care Act specifically does not provide funding to people who are not here and legally here for citizenship. It specifically says that in the actual law.
And you don't think that that's happening? Okay. And so the anecdotal
wait. So if that's the case,
confirmations
then, right,
of that don't count.
If that's the case, right, then that's where the DOJ is supposed to bring charges against whoever is doing that. Now, on top of that, using this, because the government could, the president could have allocated funds to continue SNAP. There was money that has been put aside for this that he did.
Well, that's what he's talking about right now. And the earliest that I understand it can be paid is Wednesday.
Administration. He deleted it from the website.
That's what Johnson calls leadership, lying to the American public on live television. He blames Democrats for a shutdown he alone could end tomorrow. He claims the Epstein files are already public. They're not. It's classic Republican projection. Accuse your opponents of what you're guilty of. And if you thought Fox News would push back, think again. Until this morning, when their own viewers finally turned on them. That's what happens when reality meets propaganda. Even Fox's own focus group destroyed their narrative live on air, fact-checking in real time, exposing the lies about healthcare, SNAP benefits, and who's really holding America hostage. The GOP can't claim to be the party of fiscal responsibility when they're starving 42 million Americans just to keep billionaires' tax cuts safe. They can't claim to back the blue while silencing investigations into the Epstein files. And they can't claim to be patriots while shutting down the very government they swore to serve. This isn't conservatism, it's collapse. Republicans built this shutdown. They own the rising costs, the healthcare chaos, and the moral decay. But here's the good news. Americans are finally calling it out, even on Fox News. That's what happens when propaganda meets truth. If you're tired of the lies and ready to fight back with facts, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and comment below. Do you think Republicans will ever take responsibility for this shutdown? Because the more they gaslight, the more we shine light.